Coming up on Mountain News this morning, attempting to inspire women of the Commonwealth, the Lieutenant Governor opened up about her recent double mastectomy. And 54 years ago, a nationwide health clinic opened up right here in Kentucky.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. We're coming up on 5 a.m. on January 25th. Now let's send it over to meteorologist Mace Michaels for a look at your forecast this morning.
Hi, Olivia. Good morning. We are looking at some foggy areas and talking about, of course, rain on and off throughout the day. A little rain in the area now. You can kind of get the foggy appearance. And when you take a check here into the lights, yes, there's the showers falling right here in the hazard area. So wet conditions over us right now. Our temperatures are in the upper 50s to low 50s with a cloudy sky over the region. Here's how it looks on the visibility side. London visibility down to a mile, Harlan right around 3/4 of a mile, and Moorhead and Ashland also seeing some visibilities around 3/4 of a mile. So we do have some fog alerts to talk about from Jackson up to Moorhead with a dense fog advisory this morning. Here's a check at the rain. It's moving up from south to north. Look at all those showers kind of passing on into the area. So we're talking about definitely a wetter period for us. Closer radar showing all of those showers moving through northern and central areas of Kentucky, right on down into middle Tennessee. So it will be a wet one for us today. High temperatures only make it on up into the low 60s. Of course, that's significantly warmer than just a little bit ago. Full forecast in a few minutes.
Mace, thank you. A system-wide boil water advisory continues for much of Perry County. That affects all City of Hazard water customers. It comes as thousands of customers have been dealing with outages, in some cases for several days. Officials say they are still filling tanks and monitoring tank levels. They say it is impossible to estimate when everyone will have water again. 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. That's why routine screenings are so important. In December, Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman announced she'd undergone a double mastectomy as a preventative measure. Yesterday, for the first time, she opened up about the family history that led to that decision and why she wants other Kentucky women who may find themselves in a similar situation to know they are not alone. Amber Philpott reports.
In the fall of 2023, Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman had a lot on her plate. She was actively crisscrossing the state campaigning for another re-election bid with Governor Andy Beshear, which ended in a win. Then came inauguration, where she gave a rousing speech.
As I look around, I'm reminded that what unites us is far greater than what divides us.
But under the surface, she was dealing with something very personal.
I have a history in my family of breast cancer, and so it was a little, it was just kind of looming. You know, it was one of those things that I thought, I'm just kind of waiting to hear.
In September, the 41-year-old went for her first mammogram.
Some issues were raised, which set the ball rolling for more intense and invasive screenings.
Doctors found 4 lesions, meaning she would need 4 biopsies. 3 were benign, but doctors say the 4th had the potential of becoming malignant. It was emotional and heartbreaking news for Coleman.
So I was alone that day because you go to the doctor by yourself, right? And so that was hard, but I have to say that the nurses and the doctors who do this all day, every day, right? This could very well become like, you know, an assembly line for them. They were so compassionate and they were so empathetic.
The wife and mom decided in that moment to be proactive, opting against the 4 surgeries and wondering if cancer would ever be diagnosed, and instead chose a double mastectomy.
I knew that I wanted to have a double mastectomy because I needed that relief. I needed to not have to worry about this looming. I was going to have to do scans and screenings every 6 months for the rest of my life. And I just didn't want to live like that.
The lieutenant governor says from September to November, she had more questions than answers. The election, she admits, was a welcome distraction.
I was able to, talk to the governor about it and kind of give him a heads up that I don't know what this is going to mean. And I have to give credit to him because he said, this bus tour our political events. None of that is more important than your health, and you need to take care of that. And if you have to miss something, I've got it.
Now back at work, the lieutenant governor has received countless cards and well wishes, and she's heard the stories of other Kentucky women, and it's why she chose to share her own journey.
That was a lonely feeling in that office when I got the news that something was wrong enough that surgery was required, but I didn't quite know what it meant. And I don't want other women to feel that way.
Her story is deeply personal, but Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman hopes her experience encourages other women to get their screenings. We saw the tears in her eyes when asked if she had thought about what if she had put hers off.
But you know, there could have been real consequences if I had put this off. And you know, you get this news, you go home, and your three-year-old comes home from preschool. And you think, man, she needs me.
That was Amber Philpott reporting. The lieutenant governor has watched her mom, aunt, and cousin all face breast cancer, so she knows the decision well and the disease well, and they are all factors in her preventative surgery. She is doing well and has another surgery to go. Yesterday, Kentucky's newly created anti-Semitism task force met for the first time in Frankfort. Governor Andy Beshear joined the group's 18 members. Data shows instances of anti-Semitism have risen significantly in Kentucky since the Hamas-led attack on Israel. The group is setting out to review those threats and address the issues at all levels of Kentucky's education system, particularly on college campuses. A man is accused of trying to steal copper wire. The Knox County Sheriff's Office says yesterday morning they received a call that someone was cutting copper wire out of phones and internet boxes on Kentucky 11. Once on scene, a detective found the damage. Deputies later arrested 44-year-old Tony Desern of Manchester. He's charged with theft by unlawful taking and criminal mischief. We are just 1 week away from our winter blood drive here at WYMT. The drive is from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. next Wednesday in front of the station on 199 Black Gold Boulevard in Hazard. All donors will receive a Kentucky Blood Center shirt while supplies last. Officials with KBC say their goal is to gather at least 16 units of blood. And the Kentucky Blood Center is calling on donors for the annual Big Blue Slam blood drive. After yesterday, Florida is now in the lead. This is the 16th year for the blood drive competition between the Cats and the Gators. Florida is leading by 7 donations. You can donate at any Kentucky Blood Center. The contest lasts through Friday. Officials with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet announced funding being awarded to one county. The Estill County Fiscal Court will receive nearly $54,000 in emergency road aid funds. The funding will be for repairing a draining structure on Driftwood Drive. Well, did you know that the first Wick clinic in the country opened in Pineville 50 years ago in 1974? Tuesday, Governor Andy Beshear joined other leaders to celebrate the anniversary at the Bell Theater. Wicks are clinics specifically catered to women, infants, and children 5 and under in need. The governor helped honor Dr. David Page and Betty Hopkins, who helped start the clinic.
Pineville not only is the first, but it is the most courageous.
Evidence shows that WIC participation is associated with fewer infant deaths, fewer premature births, and reduced infant mortality, and that's nothing short of incredible.
Now, there is a WIC clinic in every state in the country. Corbin is playing host to the All-A Classic State Basketball Tournament this year. 32 teams with hundreds of players and fans have traveled to Corbin for the games. The action is taking place at the Corbin Arena for the first time. Classic Chairman Gary Muncie says they decided to go to Corbin as construction is underway at the usual site at Eastern Kentucky University. He says they could return to Corbin next year.
We can't go back until they finish that at all. So we may go back there next year, or if they're not finished, we may stay here. whatever. Coleman's nice enough to let us use this arena for this year.
The tournament will run through Sunday when a boys and girls champion is crowned. Organizers with the Bourbon and Beyond Festival in Louisville announced their long lineup of performers yesterday. Some of the headliners include Lawrence County native Tyler Childers, as well as the Dave Matthews Band, Matchbox 20, Zach Bryan, Beck, and Neil Young. Weekend and single day passes are on sale now. The festival runs from September 19th through the 22nd. Thanks for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. When we return, a Pike County florist is spreading the love for Valentine's Day as they get more than 400 roses for local nursing homes.
A wet Thursday for us, Olivia. Let's get you out the door with the cloudy sky, and we will have raindrops around. Temperatures warm from the 50s this morning into the 60s this afternoon. Full forecast coming up.